Today's one of those days where I'll just say forget an intro, because this creator that I'm talking about today, Derrick Jaxn, has rubbed me in the wrong way so many times while I was like researching his content for this video that I do not feel the need for an intro. He needs no introduction. His dumbass rhetoric and everything else that he's going to discuss as far as men and women and dating in today's day and age is going to speak for itself and speak volumes about how idiotic and how pandering some of his content is. There is a saying that my grandma once told me is, it's better to be perceived stupid than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. And boy, I have no doubts at all that this man is either a fraud or he is just a grade A premium prime cut simp. And that is the worst. That is the worst crime of it all when it comes to a man in general. He puts down men for being in a bad financial radius. He seems to be hyping up women to be these goddesses, and even though women are queens and you should respect them and all, he's making it seem like men are just obligated to kiss their ass and give them whatever they want. But the first video I'm looking at is when he says stop bringing up old shit. So let's hop into it right about now.
I saw a meme that said, when a man is trying to become better, stop bringing up old shit. And this was directed at women. In the comments, you had thousands and thousands of dudes cheering it on. That's right. A lot of women need to hear this.
Yeah, well, people were getting at that women do seem to have this thing where even if you have crossed them and you are genuinely sorry and you're trying to move better and be a better man towards her, that y'all can have a totally unrelated argument a year later, and what you did that year ago is going to be brought up. Not on terms of you hurt me and I'm still not over it, in terms of just being petty and trying to just one up each other. Women seem to be very like childish when it comes to doing that. Now, not every woman does this, but it's a common thing. Like you can ask any man. Like a lot of women who are they're dating do that shit. It's just a common thing.
Blah, blah, blah. And the thing I hate about these topics is that on the surface level, they make sense. They're believable, you know? So that
Do you know why they make sense, Derek? It's because it's a common thing. It happens a lot. Sometimes with the way you talk about these things, I am nearly positive that you've never dated a woman before. Like, I really think that you have never come across a woman before in your life. You're just speaking from the outside in. I feel like you're a virgin and you just like have been trying to do your best to like diss on men to get in the good graces with women. You need to stop doing that.
Causes a lot of people who aren't necessarily objectively or critically thinking about it to perpetuate the underlying statement, which is clearly not the literal context of if a dude is just trying to be a better person, stop bringing up old shit. Like, say, for instance, he's trying to get in shape. He done lost 100 pounds and he used to be overweight, and women around the world are just bringing up the fact that he used to be fat.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Boy, you was more off the mark than a blind archer right now, because there is no way you just said that and thought that shit was deep and profound. What the point of the post was trying to say is that when I've made a mistake, don't throw it in my face a year later, or don't throw it in my face when it comes convenient. It's not just saying don't ever mention when I was down, don't ever mention where I came from or what my downfalls used to be. I get that. It's part of showing growth when you reflect on where you've come from. But you should also not throw things in people's face. Like, how is that so hard to come across? Like what is your point when you made that point? It just makes no sense. You only did it for the fact of kind of redirecting and like deflecting what the actual point of the post was. You're just trying to make your point seem valid by diminishing and redirecting any other point that was made towards the post.
A lot of guys in relationships, a lot now, not all, like to do something wrong to a woman, and once they get caught, they want that to be the end of it. They like once.
First off, men don't like to do things that hurt women in relationships. A lot of those things just happen by accident, or even just happen on purpose because we're not really thinking about what we're doing at the time. Sometimes consequences can be lost on a man when a man's dick gets hard. Sometimes the
You got that post nut clarity.
yeah, before you get that before you get that post nut clarity, bro, everything just be off. And sometimes that just happens. And guess when people get caught or when men get caught, it's not that they just want it to be the end of that, but now that we've gotten caught, we now kind of see the error of our ways. There's a lot of dudes who get caught and be like, damn, I was really fucking up that bad. And you didn't even notice it until it was all brought into your light. It's like being blind and then all of a sudden being able to see. That's kind of how I would put it into a perspective. No one ever just goes out and hurts like women on purpose. Women do that to men way more often than you think.
She says, all right, you're caught. We're going to move forward. We're going to get past this. We're going to work through this. They want to snap their fingers and make everything go away, everything that she's still dealing with, etc., etc. That's why so many guys were really promoting this.
No, the fuck it is not. It is not about snapping your fingers and all of a sudden everything being fine. It's more about, yeah, I understand where I messed up. I don't do that anymore. We've passed that. We're having an argument about rice. Jesus Christ, why did you have to bring up the fact that I cheated on you 2 years ago? Why did you have to bring up the fact that I lied to you on something so minuscule or unrelated 4 years ago? Like, bro, we're not having the conversation now. That's the point. It's the point of women happen to bring up problems or issues that have so long ago have been resolved. And there will be no reason to talk about them, but here we are talking about them. It's just unfair. That's all. That's all they were trying to say. But of course you don't want to see it that way because your audience is female. Your audience, I've seen your comments. I have seen the comments, Derrick. There is not a male name down there. There is not a male name down there. And all of them are talking mad, cash shit. I felt so bad to be a dude in those comments. I had to just stop looking at them when I was researching you for this video. You are breeding not just hate, you're breeding like delusionism. Because women are starting to look at your videos and think, well, if this man thinks I can't do anything wrong, then maybe I can't. And you're giving trash people validation.
If you're so concerned about your girl bringing up old shit in terms of your mistakes or past transgressions, you shouldn't have made it new shit to begin with. That's why she's still bringing it up. Like, you don't get to make a mistake and then dictate the terms or the amount of time it's going to take for you to pay for said mistake.
What the fuck are you talking about? What in the hell are you talking about, Derrick? What do you mean that we shouldn't have made a new shit? The post itself is saying, don't bring up things an entire year after, or just long periods of time after that has been resolved and we've been working through that. It's just disingenuous to the relationship or to my effort. It's just hurtful for females to do that. It's like, wow, like you did that for what? What, did you gain anything from it? Did you feel validated from it? But your thing is, here's what you're saying. Here's what you're saying right now. I shouldn't have made a new shit. You're right. So I should have been a perfect human being, never made a mistake in my life. When it comes to my woman, I should have been worshiping the ground that she walked upon. I should have done everything I could have to make sure that I made no mistakes. And if I made any mistakes, she should have punished me. She should have punished me like the deity I should treat her as, right? That's what you're saying to me. Because there's no way you tell me that it is my fault it is my fault that I made a mistake. But you're trying to say that I shouldn't have made the mistake in the first place. Like, things just happen. And it's also, you can't dictate the time you pay for the mistake. You're right. But at the same time, as time goes by, stop bringing it up. It's over with. Not over with, but like, don't bring it up in petty situations and petty arguments. That's all that they were trying to say. That's all what we were trying to say. Because I'm a man too. And I feel like you've forgotten that you are also a man. I feel like that you think that you were just like the advocate for single women over the age of 30. That's what I think you are. And I can promise you, you shouldn't be. Because are you married, Derrick? Because I don't think you're married. I don't even think you have a girlfriend for real. I don't know if you know what people actually be going through, and you just be speaking on the outside looking in.
That's like somebody, I don't know, robbing somebody, right? Going to jail for it, then going to the judge. Judge says, you know what? You got to serve 10 years for this crime that you committed. And then that dude looking at the judge and saying, you know what, judge? 10 years ain't gonna do it for me. I'm like,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks! Yo, killing me with this.
Here you go again. Missing the fucking point. Is that what you do professionally? Missing the point and construing people's points to make you seem more valid? Because that's not what people are saying. That's not what people are saying. People are just saying, when I'm moving on, when I'm doing better, when I'm trying to move on as a man, move on as a person, to stop bringing up where I had downfalls at. Don't bring up things just to be petty, just to be messy. Just because you feel like you're going to win the argument that we're in right now that has nothing to do with what I did to you. I understand I did wrong. I have moved on. I don't know how many times you're going to make me say this in this video, Derrick, because your whole point is just to make dumbass points. That's your whole point. That's your job. Your job is to make points that don't make sense, don't have to do with shit, and you just think, yeah, I'm doing the best thing ever. I'm putting these women on game. You're not putting women on game. You're telling them right now that they could be the same trashy ass, shitty ass person or people that they can be during arguments, at any point in their life, and then it's fine, and that the man should just have to deal with it and move on. That's not how life fucking works, my man. It's not how life works. I'm tired of this shit.
you tired of feeling guilty about it. Like you can't just choose when something becomes old and it's time for her to forget about it because your girl don't even have a choice.
Yeah, she does have a choice. This is not about taking away choices here. It's about saying women can choose to move on. Anyone can choose to move on. But there's a lot more women who choose not to move on than women that do choose to move on. And here's the thing. Let's switch roles here. Let's say my girl cheats on me. And then I bring that shit up at all times. She's going to get tired of me bringing that shit up and probably cheat again because it's just the pure aggravation. You have to let bygones be bygones, especially if you decided to work through them. And if a woman cheats, the first thing she's going to say if you keep bringing up the fact that she cheated on you is, women are way more savage, so she's probably going to say some shit like, shut the fuck up before I do it again. Or they're just going to be like, stop bringing up old shit because bringing up old shit is childish.
I understand you simultaneously handed your girl triggers from all the trauma that you caused her from what you did wrong.
Well, men, if we're going to take it from Derrick Jaxn, just hypothetically, now this is the time where you look at your girlfriend, you pull her close, and you say, baby, I'm sorry if I gave you PTSD. I'm sorry that what I did to you was equivalent to 3 tours in Nam in the heyday of the Vietnam War. I am sorry that you have flashbacks every time you see another female talk to me. I am sorry that you may have some underlying issues that won't let you forgive me. Because if you can't forgive, then there's no reason to be with me. You'll never trust me again. You'll never even fucking appreciate me in the same way anymore. So I feel as if maybe this should end right now. I've given you PTSD, and that is completely my fault. I full and wholeheartedly apologize, and I'm sorry.
Since the beginning, you set off a series of events to follow. Like for you, it was just the end of your paranoia of getting caught, the end of you trying to hide and protect shit that you did wrong.
Now, here's another thing, is that he is sort of right. Once you get caught doing whatever you're doing, it is more of a sigh of relief, like, wow, that is finally over, and now I can move on, or this, it's just over. I don't have to go through that phase or go through that protective phase anymore or worry about looking over my shoulder when it comes to getting caught. But But where he does have it all the way fucked up is the fact that he says that we be protecting what we did wrong. When you get caught cheating, you feel like shit. As a dude who has cheated before and personally would never do it again because I am not good. I don't deal with guilt well. I don't deal with lying to people's face well. I've been there, and I can tell you, it makes you feel shitty. You feel as if, like, wow, like, I really made her feel less than nothing when I done this to her. And it's a lot less I'm free more than I'm sorry. Like, wow, like, I am really seriously human garbage up in this bitch. I really fucked up. Men have guilt. Like, men have guilt. Men have feelings, bro. Like, we're not just, like, uncontrollable animals.
She has to keep this pinned up inside. She can't vent. She can't release. Because if she goes on social media and talks about it, you're going to be mad. And she's going to be hella embarrassed, looking like a fool because she's still with you. If she goes to her family, her mama, whoever, they never going to forgive you. They never going to get over it because family doesn't. If she goes to her friend about it, which she probably will in the beginning. But if she continuously wants to talk to her friend about this and work through this, guess what her friend going to say? You either need to leave him or stop talking about it. And at some point, it's going to begin to affect their friendship. And now on top of that, she can't even talk to you because you're more concerned with your feeling of being guilty as opposed to her needs for effective healing. And when you don't create a proper environment for healing, guess what? The healing takes that much longer. So stop all that talk about, oh, you know, if a man trying to become a better man, then stop bringing up old shit.
First off, he's right. Family never forgives. And friends can be that shitty, where it's just like, I want the best for you, and I want you to make a decision, or just stop talking about it. Either you're going to move on, or you're going to keep dwelling in it. And you should just, leave it alone. Let time and let progression and communication. That's something he doesn't talk about in this video, is communication. If you really have that big of an issue, talk to the person you're dating. You don't have to talk to everybody else about it. You can talk to the person you're dating. And no, men do not be caught up in their own guilt. We just know we did wrong, and whatever it takes to work through it, we will work through it. So yes, if a person is trying to be a better man, don't rag them and ragtag them about something that they've been done. I've said that 45 times in this video, because it's just a fact. And yes, I love you guys. The fucking video is over. Follow my friends and subscribe and like the video. Subscribe to my friends. I'll put them in the description and on the end card. Derrick Jaxn, man. There's gonna be a part 2 to this video. I may end up doing 3 to 4 parts because he just has so much to break down. But yeah, this is the end of the video. At the end of this day, he's a simp. A simp with no fucking friends. And I am positive of that.
We ran up in the nigga house and his old lady was inside. Only reason we ain't flame it up.